Hey guys, today we're going to check out some brand new townhomes by Toll Brothers that combine the urban style of living within suburban Summerlin. Raven Crest is a brand new townhome community by Toll Brothers located in the up-and-coming community in Summerlin of Kestrel Commons. They offer 6 different spacious floor plans, and they come in 3- and 4-story townhomes with square footage up to 2,600 square feet. Now, how is this blending the urban style of living with the suburban Summerlin? So, you know me, we look at a lot of high-rise properties, a lot of mid-rises. I feel like this is a really unique way to get some of those types of amenities of living in a high-rise without actually living in a high-rise, and being able to have close access to more suburban style amenities like they do here in Summerlin. All of these homes come with 2-car garages, and you've heard me say this before. I have personally had clients who are interested initially in living in a high-rise, and then once they kind of think about it a little bit more, they decide they really want to be able to have their own private garage, to have, their workshop out there, or to be able to, wash their car, do their own detailing, things like that. Those things, as we, talk through their best options for that specific homeowner, then sometimes we'll switch over to either a condo or a townhome with a private garage. So with these properties, you do have your own private garage. Another option that is really cool here is that you do have the option to add in an elevator. So for sure, that's definitely something that is different from your kind of more suburban townhome feel, especially if you're going with one of these 3- or 4-story homes and you don't feel like climbing all those stairs every day. An elevator is a great option. Another unique feature that these properties have is plenty of outdoor space. So that's something that if you don't want to have your single family home with your backyard and your pool, but you want to have a little bit more outdoor space than you can have in a high rise, this could be a great option for you. So we'll get to some of these views at the end, but these homes do have options for rooftop decks, for balconies, and you have plenty of livable outdoor space, as opposed to in some high rises where you do have the outdoor space but are not able to utilize it as much. Another unique feature about these properties that I want to point out is that some of them do come with multi-gen options. So that's perfect, obviously, if you do have some family that lives with you, but even if you don't, that can be a really great option here in Vegas, because when you live here, everybody you know will come to visit you, and they will show up last minute and say, hey, I'm in Vegas. So it's a great option to be able to have a private separate space for them to be able to stay if you decide to allow that. Now let's take a tour of one of the models. This one is the Talon Terrace, which is the 4-story option. And first, before we head in, I want to just point out the first of your outdoor spaces. So you do have this front courtyard area. Now let's head on inside. As you come into the first floor, you do have your next gen suite here. So on this end, you have a full bedroom with a full-size bath. You also even have a little sink and refrigerator area. So it's perfect for guests or for family that wants their own private space. You also on this end have your 2-car garage and coat closet, and obviously, this is an option to have your own private elevator. Now we'll go upstairs. On the way up, I'll just mention that this is Toll Brothers, so there are a lot of upgrades in these models. So some of them are options to upgrade. Some of them are design choices that their designers put in that are not necessarily upgrade options, but are just ideas for things that you could add after you close. Now let's move on into this beautiful open living space here. All of the floor plans of these townhomes are super spacious. This one is actually the largest. So this one is just over 2,600 square feet. That does include, of course, the fourth floor though. All of the other floor plans are only the 3 floors. So that's going to be some of that extra square footage. So all of these main living spaces are really laid out very well and easy to live in. So you have your living space over on this end, kitchen area here with your pantry. And again, these are definitely upgraded countertops and cabinets and backsplash. Over here, we'll move on into your dining space and your second of the outdoor living spaces. This is a really nice size patio. Lastly, on the second floor, you do have your 2-piece powder room, which also has some upgrades in there that are not available as an option with the stylized paint. Up here on the 3rd floor, you're going to have 2 bedrooms down at this end of the home, along with a full bath. You'll also have your laundry room over on this side, and just to point out that all of these floor plans, the laundry room is on the same floor as the bedrooms. And then over here on this side of the home, private away from the other bedrooms, you do have your primary suite. And it comes through into this really nice, spacious, full bath with double sinks and a large shower and a walk-in closet. Now your last set of stairs and up to the 4th floor. Up here on the 4th floor, you have this landing space, and there's not a lot of space right now, but if you did choose the option without the elevator and you wanted the exercise walking up and down the stairs, then you would actually have more floor space here. So you could definitely use this as like an office, a little workout space, or a sitting area. And then you have your access out here to your beautiful rooftop deck. As I mentioned, one of my favorite things about this community is the amount of outdoor space that these properties have. So a lot of these homes have these rooftop decks, and some of them you'll even be able to get these incredible strip views like the one behind me. If you are comparing this style of living to high-rise living, the one thing that I do want to mention is that in high-rises, you can have some outdoor space. There are some high-rises that don't have any outdoor space if you are living on the strip. But if you're off of the strip, some of those properties do have some really nice sized terraces. But the higher up you are, of course, it's going to get windier. And here in Las Vegas, we have some really strong winds. So much so that in certain places, in certain times, if you are in a high rise, you might not be able to utilize that outdoor space at all during certain times because it gets so windy that your furniture is going to go blowing around, and even some small animals, you want to make sure to keep them off of the terrace during the windy times. The price point for these townhomes starts at about $635,000. Now, that's not for this floor plan. As I mentioned, the Talon Terrace is the largest of the floor plans, and it also has the rooftop terrace, so that is going to be a much higher price point. This is the mid-century modern design, so it's going to start at about $750,000. And that's before any upgrades or options, and it's also before any lot premiums. Okay, now let's talk about HOAs. So first of all, you're going to have your Summerlin master plan fee, and that's about $69 per month. And that is for anybody who lives in Summerlin. It's a master plan community, and that's going to include all of your amenities that Summerlin has to offer. So all of the common parks and pools and things like that you will have access to. The next is going to be for this specific community. That HOA is about $187 per month, and that's going to include the common areas as well as the pool that is designated just for this community. So your total HOAs are only $256 per month. So really pretty reasonable when you think about where you're living and what you have access to. The next fee that you want to be aware of is that since this is a brand new community, there will be a SID fee attached to the property. So it's going to be around $6,700 with your new home, and that will be billed biannually around $210. Schools zoned for this area are William Loomis Elementary, Becker Middle School, and Palo Verde High School. To reserve your lot, you'll first need to fill out a questionnaire, and then you will have to sign your purchase agreement and deposit your earnest money deposit of 5% of the purchase price. Toll Brothers is currently offering some incentives along with these properties. So if you're going to build from the ground or go with a in-progress build, they are offering $60,000 towards any upgrades or appliance packages. And if you go with a quick move home, which means they're already finished and ready to move into, they are also offering up to 3% in closing costs if you use their Toll Brothers mortgage. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the community. So Raven Crest is located in the brand new community of Kestrel Commons. This community started construction back in 2022, and it has definitely built up quite a bit since then, but there's so much more coming that is super exciting. So definitely reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about all of your options. If you're buying or selling any high-rise properties or townhomes here in Las Vegas. All my contact information is at our website, thethomasgrouplv.com, and my extension is 4 for Christina. I'll see you next time.